Welcome to Conversations with Miss Jery. Miss Jery will be arriving shortly. We want to welcome each of you today. The chat will be open, so if you have any questions for Miss Jery about her Gullah baskets or her Gullah folk art, please don't hesitate to ask. This stream will also be posted to Facebook, Jery Taylor on Facebook and jerybtaylor.com. Welcome, Miss Jery.
Hello.
Live. And welcome, Miss Jery, to the live. Hello,
Hello. How are you?
Yes. So, Miss Jery, it has been a week, and this was St. Patty's Day week.
Yes, it is.
How did St. Patty's Day week go for you in Savannah, Georgia?
Yeah. The day of the event, I didn't come because it's a party for the young people, and for me, I thought I would just take the day off and do some stuff around the house. So I just let the young people just have their
that's
fun
right.
with me not being in their way.
That is wonderful. So, Miss Jery, we have a new painting this week to talk about. Oh, your phone, Miss Jery, your phone. You know, Miss Jery's phone rings off the hook all day, every day, because she's an important person. So, did you tell them that you were live, Miss Jery? You used to be like, I'm live. Now they all want to call in live. They might have a question, Miss Jery.
Okay. Let me see if I can get this.
Let's see. They may live with Miss Jery. Do you have a question?
I don't understand how to do this.
Oh, is it a Facebook Live? Is it a Facebook? Is it a YouTube? Is it a somebody's trying to video in?
It's a Messenger.
Yes, it is Messenger Facebook.
This is the second time this person have called and I wasn't able to answer this phone.
Well, it'll be all right.
Okay.
So this week we have a new painting to
Yes.
talk about, and we have a new basket.
Yes.
Yes, and you replaced the basket on your pedestal from last week that sold.
I did.
Now you have a new big basket. I just saw that this morning. I was like, man, this basket's huge.
Yeah, it's another huge one.
It is.
And because of the size of the basket, it's not many big baskets I do per year. So what I've been trying to do is try to do a couple of big baskets per year, because by the time I can finish with the big basket, it hurts my chest. So, I just try to do about 2 of them per year.
Wow. So when you say it hurts your chest, is that because the basket's so big, you have to lean into it and it applies pressure on you?
And you have to pull it really tight. So that's the reason why you get the pain in your chest.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is a big difference between your baskets and many other basket makers that you see out there, is that there's a certain tightness to your baskets that seem to be almost like you can't even believe that the human hand pulled that tight. Do you blame that on how many years you've been doing baskets?
Well, I have had a whole lot of men to tell me with the tightness of my basket, they wouldn't want me to put my hand around their necks.
Yeah.
So it's actually that tight.
Wow.
So,
she said, y'all keep my hands away from your neck now, because my hands be real tight.
Yeah, but it's the way I've been taught. My
Mm.
grandmother told me that you have to do it right, so that was the reason why my
What
baskets are so tight.
what was her reasoning behind the baskets needing to be that tight? Is it because they last longer, or that they're more, because I know some of these baskets can hold water, right?
Yes.
And so the tightness would probably create a better seal, right?
Well, it's when it comes to the basket holding water,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, what I have noticed in before I had a gallery, when I had my baskets like outside on the table on the side of the road, what would happen when the rain was falling, and a lot of time I didn't have the time to get them in on time. You could see that the water would settle, in the bottom of the baskets. So I know that it does hold water, but not only that, you know, um, the the baskets, it came from the elements. So, you could when you leave it out in the rain, it's going to hold water. But the only thing you have to do with that is dry them out and make sure that they're dry completely before you set it back down, because you know that these are natural materials. And if you would set it down without it being dry, what'll happen is it'll get molded and mildew. So you have to make sure that your basket is dry once it's been wet.
That's an important care instruction, Miss Jerry.
Oh, I know. And people
Mm-hmm.
ask me all the time, and I always let them know, if you were to wash your basket, you make sure and let your basket dry out completely before setting
Mm-hmm.
it down.
That's wonderful. And the drying out process would be as simple as putting it in the sunlight?
Well, yeah, you could put it in the sunlight, but I tell people all the time that if you were to put your basket on a can, that way, it's not sitting down on a counter or something. You just put it up on a can so that the air could just flows through
You're
it.
saying a can, like a can of beans,
Vegetable
a vegetable
can,
can, or
yeah,
that you've just set it up so
yeah,
the air that can
yeah,
circulate.
yes, right,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Gotcha. That's very interesting.
yeah.
And then now the grasses, when we see the grasses, like these grasses you have here, when we see them, they are in the marsh, along the roadside.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
traditionally in heavy water drainage areas, places
right.
like marshes.
Yeah,
So when you say that they're natural and that they naturally already hold water, which is why you have to dehydrate them
right.
so much,
Exactly. Yeah,
because they
yeah,
already hold water.
yeah.
So when you see rainwater enter a basket, is it pretty much rehydrating?
Um, I guess you could say that,
Mm.
but and that's okay for it to be wet. It's just that you have to make sure that they're completely dry.
Mm-hmm.
And it may seem hard once you have dried it, after you have dried the basket, but it will eventually be back to normal
Mm.
after that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's very interesting. And I'm wondering too, when people have these grasses that, like, a lot of times you see them in the South as common, as
Yeah,
common grasses. And we were talking last week about the grasses becoming more rare.
right.
And can you explain a little bit more about the rarity, especially of the sweetgrass basket, right?
Yes, yes. Well, you know for a while, we've been having problems with our sweetgrass, because anywhere in the South, and I'm sure of other places, development plays a very important part when it comes to their part of it. But it's not for us as sweetgrass basket makers, because of those areas where the sweetgrass grows, development developers are taking over those areas.
Mhm.
So that has been a problem, and it's getting to be a worse problem for us as basket makers.
Because you see these grasses, especially the sweetgrass, and we're driving by, we're like, they're so ornamental. They're using them
Yeah.
ornamentally, but in their wild state, they are actually more practical than ornamental.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what will be the future kind of, I guess, what's the interest in trying to preserve? How do we preserve specific areas for sweetgrass to remain in its natural growth, as opposed to being an ornamental thing, which is not really accessible when they're ornamental. It belongs to
Right.
somebody.
Yes. 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 I've had a few people that have came to me and asked if they were to plant the grass, would I be able to use it? And this one lady, she has brought some, but I'm not sure that she really knows, how to get the right thing that I need where I could use it. But we'll see what happens.
Because it does come down to timing, right? Like there's a specific time to harvest.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, you have to get it right at the right time. So
like grapes too, you have to do the same thing.
yeah.
Or any produce really, because it's all agriculture.
Right.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. So we're hoping that they would, get the right thing this time. And, if she were to come back, I'll just let her know that, she could just take me, and that way I could show her what to do in order to get it.
So education is an important
that's
component in all of this.
Part. Another thing is when it comes to the palmetto. The palmetto we use in our baskets are from our state tree, palmetto tree. But when I was young, coming up, and my grandmother was teaching me what to do when it comes to the palmetto and the sweetgrass and, the materials that I use for my baskets. The younger people nowadays are making palmetto roses, but a lot of them doesn't wait until the palmetto grows out of the tree completely with a stalk. What they do is they cut the palmetto in half, and it hadn't really matured yet. So, to me, I think it would do damage to the tree. And, I don't think nobody have ever told them what to do from what not to do when it comes to collecting your material for which you're going to use it for. For us as basket makers, we know that we need that tree to keep on producing. And when you cut it before the time set to cut it, then, that's a problem. But, I don't know, because I don't think people would really listen to me to say, well, you're not supposed to cut it at this time, wait until it grow out. And, if that one hadn't grown out yet, well, wait until it grows out and then cut it. Yeah, because that's the way I was taught. So.
Well, I think your voice is more influential than you think, Miss Jery.
Okay.
So let's hope this platform will help to educate people.
Yes.
So these are the roses you're referencing, correct?
Yes, this is the roses that that people use in order to make the palmetto rose. And if they would just wait until it grows out, it'll be better for the tree, and really it would be better for you, because you would have a longer piece of palmetto to make your roses. So I'm hoping that the young people would look and see this and see that you need to wait until the palmetto trees the part that you cut have the stock on it where it's very easy to cut once you have a stock on it, because all you have to do is bend that stock down and it cuts very well when you do it that way.
Wonderful. Thank you, Miss Jery, for that information. And now, speaking of flowers, I see that there are flowers in this painting of yours. This is a beautiful piece this week, Miss Jery.
Well, this is the baptism. This is the fourth baptism that I have done. And for me, as a little girl growing up, we living on Boone Hall Plantation, there was a creek that we call Butler Bridge, that the pastors, they would go to Butler Bridge for the baptism. So whenever I'm doing a piece that is a baptism, I always think about Butler Bridge and how, we used to go down for the baptism. But the baptism is something that, we'd see, because our parents would take us down to the creek. And, I wasn't baptized in the creek, but we used to enjoy going to the baptism on Butler Bridge.
Wonderful. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
And this is also done in acrylic, right, Miss Jery?
It is. Yeah, this is done in acrylic.
That's wonderful. And signed.
Yes.
And our basket of the day is an amazing elephant ear. This is probably one of my favorite styles, Miss Jery.
Yes. Well, the elephant ear is a basket that is so attractive. When people comes into my gallery, it's like this is the only basket in the gallery. They come and they go right to this basket. So it's a beautiful basket, but it's a basket that takes a lot of time. Yes.
And the intricacy and just can you show us that bend, the bend, and this is why they call it the elephant ear, or why you call it that, is that loop there, yeah? Wow, look at the bends in those.
Well, my sister Jacqueline, when we went to Africa this past summer, she said, now I understand why y'all call that basket the elephant ear, because that's exactly what it looks like. And for me, as a basket maker, and for my baskets to be in different places, it have to be identified. So all of my baskets have names. The elephant ear, the Egyptian eye, the covered basket, and the ring trays. All of those baskets, they have names to them.
That's wonderful. And Miss Jery, would you say that this basket, the bottom, this is the grasses are bulrush, but the bottom has some sweetgrass.
The bottom have all three of the materials.
On the pine in the middle, right?
Before, the basket, it starts with the pine straw, then you add the sweetgrass, and then the bulrush, and then you bring it up with the bulrush. And on the end of this part right here is the sweetgrass, because you have to make those sharp turns in getting that basket to go all the way down and back up. So you use the sweetgrass because the sweetgrass is more flexible. And especially in the beginning of starting the elephant ear.
I see. I imagine that this basket takes a tremendous amount of time.
It does.
Tremendous amount of time.
It takes a lot of time, and a lot of time people wonder why it is so expensive. Well, it's double the work,
Yes.
because after making the bowl to the basket, you have to, add the air to the basket. So that is the reason why, the elephant ears are so expensive.
Even the spacing of each of the ears, right,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
incredible.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
to be able to predict where the next one, and it really is a continuation.
It
They're not
is.
individual pieces from the
Right.
base. That it's one continuous
It
loop
is.
around the
It
basket.
is. It is.
So amazing.
You yeah, but the basket, and it is a beautiful piece, but it's the work that you have to put into it.
Mm.
And the number one question is, how long does it take to do a basket? And when you look at the designs of the baskets, the size of the basket, and all that it takes to get the basket where it's going, you know where it needs to go. You just have to wait patiently until it gets there.
That is wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing these two with us, Miss Jery. Both the piece and the basket are amazing pieces from your collection.
Yes, well, thank you.
And I know you have in your folk art hundreds of pieces over the span of time that you've been painting with acrylics. I'm sure you've done upwards of 500 pieces, wouldn't you say?
It might have been more.
It might have been more. It's amazing.
Yes.
It's an astonishing collection, all of them.
Well, thank you. I never thought that I would be um, doing as many paintings as I have. And a lot of the paintings I have done, I don't even have records of it because I never thought that I would be painting to this point. So, but I enjoy both of them because most people ask me, well, which one do you enjoy more? And I enjoy both of them, because I've been doing baskets all my life. And, the painting was something different that I got myself into, not knowing that, basket was already hard. And then I went to something else.
You expanded your craft.
But I enjoy both.
Yes. And Miss Jery, this print this original that we have today, you have it available in prints.
No.
This one is not available in prints
no.
yet, but it will be coming soon.
Might be. Some of these I don't make prints
to
it. And it depends on the size of them, because the bigger they are, the more expensive, it gets. Well, the bigger they are, the more expensive it is
to reproduce it.
Yes,
yes.
So usually,
Are there cards available of this one?
Nothing.
Wow. And that makes this piece a very exclusive piece.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because some of these will never have prints. Yeah. So I do some prints, and some just won't ever have prints.
And then the baskets, this particular style of elephant ear, it does come in a few different sizes, but most of them are large like this, right?
Well, I do a lot of different sizes when it comes to the elephant ear, because people love the elephant ear, and you got to satisfy all of your customers. So some of them are going to want a small one, but there are people who are going to want a large version of it, and you have to satisfy everybody. So,
well, you do satisfy everyone, Miss Jery. I've never heard of a customer ever that has been dissatisfied.
Okay.
You are a true master, Miss Jery, and we look forward to speaking with you again in Conversations with Miss Jery Sunday morning next Sunday.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
So how much time we got?